I thought I had shut this chapter of my life. I was ready to rest and watch the sun rise on a grateful universe. But then y'all started commenting about Super 7, and I swear I looked. I genuinely did. I checked to see if there were any campaigns I missed. I even wasted gallons of water letting AI search Google for me, only to realize I was wrong to trust Skynet. Or maybe it was how I was searching. I asked, did any big toy companies have failed campaigns or campaigns at all? And I guess the internet doesn't consider Super 7 big, which honestly, how could it? Retail stores are closing, but let's focus, Walrus Man, one rant at a time. Today, we're re exploring the failed Cobra Mothership. Now, let's get this out of the way first. This didn't fail because it wasn't cool. I don't collect G.I. Joe. I don't know the lore. This and other topics I want to talk about have me watching it on Hasbro's YouTube channel. But just looking at this ship has me hyped. It's a beautiful piece and I'd absolutely want this on my display. The detail and love put into this thing it just makes me want to scream in excitement, just like the guy in the Cobra theme.
A fearful cry, Cobra,
Let's go over what was offered. You had the massive Cobra Mothership itself with a removable roof and full detailed interior featuring multiple rooms. What I really loved was the multi-step roof removal. It wasn't just one big chunk you took off. You could remove one section or multiple sections, which made displaying it way more flexible. There were light up features, a ramp, opening panels, multiple weapons for the armory, missiles for the missile bay, and honestly, some of the coolest display risers I've ever seen. The landing flames themselves, like, come on, man. That's so cool. You also got a sticker sheet, not my favorite, plus one O-ring gunner and one reaction gunner. And unfortunately, this is where my happiness and joy end because now we have to look at what led to this thing never making it to the display cases of G.I. Joe fans. The price. I know I sound like a broken record, but price is so important because we want to make sure we're getting our money's worth. Games are $80 now. A Taco Bell Nacho Bell Grande is pushing 15 with a drink, and Lego wants 50 for a small ship and a minifig. Times are hard now, and we're also in 2023, so missing out on a collectible is easy when I'd rather have Nacho Bell Grandes for an entire month. To fund the campaign was $500, with the looming 100 shipping cost on top. After taxes, you were looking at close to $700 for this toy, and with a price tag like that, it's easy to see why fans examined every single detail and critique of this ship. For over $600, it had to be perfect, no missteps, no compromises, and even worse, it had comparisons that completely overshadowed it. Just a couple of months prior, the HasLab Ghost dropped and successfully funded with the same $500 price tag. Now, did the success of the HasLab Ghost influence Super 7? Maybe, but even 500 was a bit high for the Ghost. Nonetheless, the Ghost compared to this offered a highly detailed ship, a removable roof, and a detailed interior, but it also came with one carded figure. It was larger, had added collector appeal with highly articulated figures and card backs, a cleaner interior that didn't rely on stickers, a removable ship, and reduced shipping cost. A huge advantage the Ghost had was the Hasbro Pulse Premium membership. You could sign up for $50 and get free shipping. Not only did that massively reduce what would have been an insane shipping cost for the Ghost, but you also got free shipping for an entire year on other products plus all the extra perks. The Cobra Mothership just had this looming high price over it that no one could shake. Tiers can help lessen the blow, but at this price, fans felt everything needed to be included, and the way it was looking, that was not going to be the case. They should feel like fun additions, not necessities, but the crowdfunding model in general makes not getting a tier feel like a punishment. Now, the first tier was an early bird exclusive, one of the nastiest crowdfunding tactics all the big dogs have used. If funded in 10 days, you get two parachutes with functional soft vinyl, two extremely simple toys that came out many years ago, and play features most high-paying collectors aren't even going to touch. Now, I say this, but I would have loved to have these parachutes. So it's weird that they couldn't just include them in the base offering. Early bird tiers drive me crazy because they never feel like a reward. You're asking fans to give you 2 million in less than 10 days in order to unlock two parachutes. It's wild. Then comes the next tier, really the first proper one, which adds extra stickers and gunner turrets. Another miss. At 5,000 backers, an entire section of the ship might get these turrets, but if it doesn't fund, you're left with an obvious empty space. That's the worst kind of tier, one that highlights what you're missing if you don't get it. At 6,000 backers, you get 2 trouble bubbles, which honestly would have been amazing. Deploying them out of the ramp, that's the first tier that actually feels exciting. Then at nearly double the funding goal, 7,000 backers, you get 2 gray Cobra officers, 1 O-ring and 1 reaction. And Super 7 is great for bringing back O-ring and allowing fans to collect O-ring G.I. Joe. Would be cool to see them all be O-ring, but I'll take what I can get. They also did something interesting by releasing crowd-funded add-ons. This is basically standard retail upselling, but only if the ship funded. You could grab either an O-ring 5-figure battle pack or a reaction version. And I don't hate the product, I just hate how it's delivered to us. I'm a sucker for battle packs and army builders, and could have been a cool way to bulk up a Cobra army if the price justified it. But having the O-ring and reaction packs priced the same at 75, it's kind of weird to me, especially when the O-ring figures clearly have better articulation. Now, I'm not saying price that one up and price the other one down. More price the reaction down, and if you want, price the O-ring down too. We will never say no to that. 15 per uncarded figure is kind of a joke. Hasbro's 4 packs going from 44 in 2022 to 62 nowadays is insane. I don't know what's going on with these multi-packed figures. Now, as the unfunded status started to haunt Super 7, they made a small change in attempt to push consumers to fund the project. The 4th tier, which they clearly realized would never see the light of day, was rolled into the core package. This was actually a great step in the right direction, doubling the number of figures fans would receive with this campaign. But with an almost $700 price tag and very limited options for international collectors to even get their hands on this thing, it still struggled to reach half of the backers needed to fund. They also somewhat hilariously offered payment plans, because nothing is more exciting than being indebted to Cobra Commander. In the end, the campaign failed at a low 1,661 backers. This campaign felt like Super 7 viewed it as an easy fun and tried to squeeze as much out of it as possible. The price was simply too high for value fans just couldn't find in the product. And G.I. Joe fans have never allowed a campaign to fail. If anything, they have been the most loyal in getting HasLabs funded and pushed past funding goals. G.I. Joe fans and Transformer fans always seem to get it done, and I for once am sad to see such a big loss because something about this crowdfunding project was so cool to me. I will continue watching G.I. Joe for more content in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next toy breakdown.